Good evening and salutations, my soap opera fans. So, question of the night. What do fans like slash dislike about Carly? Now, I was going to sit there and write Carly Corinthos, but, you know, can't do that because she's not Carly Corinthos anymore. And just right now, I actually thought about it and I was like, it's Carly Spencer. So I should have wrote Carly Spencer. What are your thoughts? Why do you like Carly? Why do you dislike Carly? Let me know. What's good, Solomon? Thank you for joining. What's good, CW? How you doing tonight? What's good, Mel? What's good to Havlin? How are y'all doing tonight? Thank you for joining. Laura B's in the chat. What's good, Laura B? How is everyone doing tonight? So, yeah, I I figured that now. I may watch like a little bit, at least like maybe 10 minutes of it. She watched the whole thing last night, which is great. What's good, Shauna? Thank you for joining. Since Tuesdays is always my long days, I always have to watch. What's good, Makai? Thank you for joining. What's good, Richard Henry? Thank you for joining tonight. Yeah, since Tuesdays is always my late days, I always have to sit there and do days and Y&R early before I get home. Otherwise, it's just not going to wind up happening. How have you been, Richard? It's been a hot minute. How have you been, Makai? Freddie's in the chat. Davlin says, I like Carly personally. I do too. I do too. But I know that there's people that don't like Carly. You know, they're Team Nina and everything like that, which is fine. Um, that's why I did the Team Nina. That's why I did Nina yesterday, and I figured I would do Carly today. I'm good, Rich. I'm good. It's good to see you again. It's been a minute, so it's nice to have you back. Um, there are like 17 people in the chat so far, so I'll ask this question. I'll leave it up for a good 10 minutes. AJ's in the chat. What's good, AJ? CW says I like Carly. She's messy, but good messy. Christina says I don't like or hate her. Oh, yeah. You know, Makai, actually, I still do ice cream, but I've been doing a lot of wine now. So, um, that's what's going on for tonight. What's good, Renee? Thank you for joining. Freddie's in the chat. What's good, Freddie? What's good? The amazing, gorgeous Janet is in the chat. Big Samuel's in the chat. What's good? Uh, I wonder what your answer is going to be, Samuel. Big Samuel's in the chat. Blackmon is in the chat. How you doing tonight, Blackmon? I'm doing good. Oh, Samuel, what do you? Well, Samuel, I know you don't. Well, actually, tell you the truth. Do you like Carly? If you do like Carly, let me know why. And if you didn't like Carly, let me know why. What's good, Denise? Thank you for joining. AJ said GH was trash today. Jenna said more fun when you drink wine than have ice cream. Yeah, I like to switch it up. But I've been liking the wine a lot though. So um I've been liking the wine a lot. Nikisha Moore is in the chat. Simon says, "No, I hate Carly." Yeah, no, I figured that. I didn't want to answer for you, but I figured that. But I want to know why. I want to know why. I already figured that because I already knew you was a Nina fan, so I want to figure out what it is that you don't like about Carly. Oh, you haven't seen GA today? Okay. Jonathan is in the chat. I don't know. I like my wine. Dee Dee's in the chat. Dee Dee says, Carly dresses nice. I'm glad you're good, Blackmon. I'm glad you're good. CW says, okay, I can't find CW anymore. I'm not a fan. Carly never will be, although the actress, all right, is phenomenal. Shauna says, why is Sunny discussing? Solomon says, Albert, I have a question. If a character is recast and the character drastically changes under the recast, do you think it's a writer's thing or because someone new has come and taken over the role? Solomon, actually, I think it's a writer's thing. I think what they wind up doing sometimes is that they write around the character. Like as far as certain things, certain dialogue and stuff like that is written for that character. The longer that they're on, that's what I would sit there and say. They kind of write for the actual actor or actress. Nikki said, "I'm a Carly fan. Been a fan since Sasha started. Carly was devoid, but they redeemed her over time. I'm not a fan of the writing for Carly nowadays." Cat Lady's in the chat. What's good, Cat Lady? Jess is in the chat. What's good, Jessica? Ariana's in the chat. What's good? Tracy Steve's in the chat. Valerie is in the chat. Um, Ariana says, oh, after getting back last night, I slept 20 hours. Wow. Must have been some trip. How you doing, Tracy Steve? Thank you for joining as always. Cat Lady says, I like Nina, not love, but like, well, more when Phyllis, playing it. Samuel says, Carly is selfish and she doesn't hold herself the same moral standards that she holds everyone else. She can do wrong to everyone else, but nobody can do wrong to her. Joshua's in the chat. What's good, Joshua? Thank you for joining tonight. AJ says, I feel like Carly hasn't changed her ways. She way too much. She was so much better when TB was playing her. Valerie says, hey, Albert, did you know Hot Daddy is the actor? No, I did not know that. That's interesting. Wow. Thank you for letting me know. I didn't know that. How you doing tonight, Valerie? Shona says, Sonny must be salty talking about Carly and Drew to Olivia. Jess says, I like Carly, but I don't like her with Drew. Micaiah says, Carly got a big mouth, talks too much, too entitled. Freddie says, the way Sonny said Drew and Carly's facing the consequences to Olivia, he had that smirk on his face. You know, I'm wondering if Nina heard all that. Jess said, I like Carly, but I don't like her with Drew. Freddie says, okay. Denise said, I love Carly, but it went downhill for me when she got with Jason after the Clint. Yeah, I wasn't a fan of that whole thing. I was not a fan of that. Mel says, I got good news that RJ, what? Are you serious? Oh, no, that's what's up. Nikki said, my heart breaks for Carly when she lost her first baby. When AJ made her fall down the stairs. Then when Rick had her chained up in the panic room, it was great. So Rick let Liz drink face poison. I didn't know that. AJ said, "Thank God for Sabrina." Well, I hate saying that sentence. I mean that line, but Sabrina being on tomorrow. All right, that's good. Sometimes I actually got to sit there and say Trina and Spencer because I just can't say that. Krista says yes, it is. I watched Robert was a police captain and crime passion drama. Still stalkings. Oh, Krista, it's funny. I was talking about that a couple weeks ago, and I felt like that was I felt like silk stockings was very adult. It was very adult. I loved it, but I'm surprised they got away with some of the stuff they got away with. Was good, Kyrie's? Kyrie's Clark is in the chat. Kyrie's is there doing his reviews on Y&R, so definitely check him out. What's good, Ron? Thank you for joining. And Rihanna says if Nina comes for Carly, she can kiss it goodbye with Willow. Yeah, she does seem like she was making some progress with it. Renee says I've been watching Carly since she came on the show. It kills me how she has this better than everyone attitude. She's no better than Nina. In my opinion, she's worse than Nina. Wow, okay. Worse? Okay. And he says, so we didn't talk about kids before we got married. Yeah, I honestly tell you the truth, and that's another thing. Does anyone, I'm gonna leave that up for a few minutes. But I do want to ask about that though, about Molly and TJ. Does anyone actually care about Molly and TJ's story? Like seriously, does anyone actually care about Molly and TJ's story? Yeah, Jess, I didn't really understand that either. But hey, teach his own. Jenna said no boring. It wasn't really that much of a good episode. Um, I honestly tell you the truth, the only part that was actually that I enjoyed was the Mason and Austin and Ava scene. I enjoy. Okay, I'll be honest. I enjoyed a little bit of Nina and Willow. A little bit. I enjoyed a little bit of it. CW says I disagree. They're both on equal footing. Carrie says I was surprised how much I ended up enjoying Willow and Nina scenes. Usually they both annoy me. Dee Dee says I wonder where they. Dee Dee says, oh, Nathaniel Gray's in the chat. What's good, Nathaniel? I was actually just talking about you. Let's everyone say what's up, Nathaniel. What's good, Karen? Thank you for joining. Didi says, I wonder where they going with Mason, Austin, and Nina's story. It was actually the best part of this episode. So just said, yeah, and Nina has committed crimes too, like stealing a baby and leaving town. Yeah, people forget about that all the time. When they want to sit there and talk about whenever you want to sit there and talk about defending Nina, that's the first thing they seem to forget. Nah, Kyrie, I don't even think that Nathan. I mean, I don't even think that Mason is that crazy to sit there and come at Ava in a violent way. Plus Ava can honestly. Well, I don't know if she could sit there and take Mason, but she won't be going down lightly. But no, just it's true. It's just like people constantly forget about that. But then their excuse is, oh, she was going through a mental breakdown and she needs help and this, that, and the third. And I'm just so, I don't even want to go there with that. Didi, yeah, no, it was a great scene. It was a great scene. Karen says, I like Mason. He made Austin interesting. I've been saying that since day one. I've been saying that since day one. I'm wondering where he's gonna go with this whole thing. Now, Nathaniel said Mason learned that move and the more back and putt. Kyrie says, "Oh, I know my boy Ava ain't no Dems in distress." Yeah, I'm just laying out my ground rules. Yeah, and that's the thing that I mean. One of the main things I do like about Ava is that she's definitely not a damsel in distress. Hell, half the time she'll sit there and just come across as the heroine and be trying to save people. I feel like that's her energy. Freddie says, "I'm pretty sure Ava Jerome is going to fight back." Oh, absolutely. I mean, I feel like now would definitely be a good time to call in Sunny. I don't understand why Austin's like, no, don't do it because we'll get killed. I'm like, what? Nikki I wish we could critique characters independently without comparing their misdeeds to others. Let's just, I say that all the time. And then it says she is tiny but mighty. Yes. I say that all the time. This is the one thing that I always sit there and say. And this is why I say people love to use mental gymnastics. Whenever I sit there and talk about a character, if I talk about Jocelyn, if I talk about Carly, if I talk about Nina, if I sit there and talk about Nina, the first thing people will sit there and do is, but Carly did this and Carly did that, and if Carly hasn't did this and if Carly hasn't done that, and it's like, in what part of my sentence did I sit there and talk about Carly? I'm talking about Nina, and it's the same thing. If I sit there and I talk about Carly, right, and I sit there and say Carly did this and Carly did that, and somebody be like, but Nina did this, so you can't sit there and say that Carly's worse than Nina. It's like Jesus Christ. Let's sit there and talk about the main topic at hand. Carly, Nina, Sunny. Um, Instead of constantly comparing one person to the other. Like it's supposed to make that person look a little bit better. And it doesn't. It really doesn't. It feels like it's grasping at straws, is what it comes down to. Thank you, Denise. It just feels like it's grasping at straws. Um, but again, I like I said, I try to not thank you, Laura B. I try to not sit there and take it too seriously to the point where it gets um heated. Because to be honest, again, I'm not gonna sit there and argue over fictional characters. I'm just not exactly, Laura. Yeah, need not to comparison. Um, Marsha. What's good, Marsha? Thank you, Marsha. Thank you. Thank you, Valerie. Yes, if you are enjoying the stream, hit the like button. We got 45 people in the chat. We got 11 likes. It really does help out. We got Darby in the chat. What's good, Darby? I know it's kind of a YouTube thing to say, but we get new people in all the time. Hell, we get new people into the point where people will come to my chat and be like, "What is this? What is this live stream about?" It's in the title. I don't understand. You remember that one person that came in and was like, "What is this about?" And I just kind of stood there like, "Did they really just say that?" Um, yeah, yeah. But I was sitting up there just like, I don't get it. Like, but I mean, granted, it does show the power of, um, hitting the like button, how it does help. Didi said Mason has the deep Batman voice, but it works because the character is creepy. I think Michael Easton has a Batman voice too. Nathaniel says, I personally like making dramas, crime shows, or fantasy. My best work is my werewolf show. That is my best idea. My best work is my werewolf show. Is that? I don't know if I can ask that question or not, but I'm going to ask anyway. Is that like I've been asked to say I'm Batman? I would. Oh, you really? Okay. Well, I definitely. Well, if everything goes all to plan, I definitely will be sitting there watching it. That's for damn sure. Jessica says, curious what Mason wants Ava number for. Jessica asks, curious what Mason wants Ava's number for. Darby says, yes, cat lady, yes, we do. AKA Team Wolf. Tracy says some people just go on people's lives when they see that they are. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, Ron, that's just how people are sometimes, you know. The thing is, that's because Ace and Ava and Austin are my only friends for Charles. Someone is going to hang out with me. Darby says, "Have you ever seen Ava?" Karen says, "Mason wants Ava." Well, Ava is gorgeous, so I mean, I think that kind of goes without question right there. Yeah, you know, it's funny, Jonathan. Actually, well, another thing we have in common is that we both love supernatural kind of storylines. I was like, you know, it's only been 22 minutes. Let me just kind of slow down on the wine a little bit. Um, yeah, man, I wasn't a fan of that either. But also, I'm like Brady. You can see that your daughter is acting up, and you want to sit there and still keep Chloe around. Oh wow, I didn't know that, Ron. That sucks. Valerie says, "I'm glad Willow shut Nina down today, asking about her kids." Yeah, like I said, they had a good talk, so I'll give him that. You know, Nina wanted to be concerned and ask questions about her well-being and everything. So you know, I give her points for that. Denise said, "Check your child, Brady." Yeah, and she was, you know, yeah. I mean, that's a problem because Kristen raises, you know, has Rachel just kind of do whatever she wants. And I'm like, bro. Then Nathaniel said, yeah, too many supernatural shows spend too much time on the magic and less on the characters. Hmm. Shakira's in the chat. Shakira says, who cares? Now, Justice, do you think Shen will back out the deal with Gabby? No, I really don't. And to be honest, I'm not gonna lie, that scene kind of annoyed me. Like I get that Shen messed up, but I'm like the way that Gabby has been acting, I'm just like, what do you even? Excuse me, what do you even seeing this chick anymore? She's lying to your face. She's running around, sneaking around with other men and stuff. I mean, another man. Like, what are you doing? I'm not a fan of that. I'm really not. Like, Gabby has done some bad stuff back in the day too. Um, I don't know. I'm just like, bro, let that go. Like for real. Like you're at some point your dignity actually have to matter right? Like your dignity really needs to matter. Nathaniel says, "Hey Shakira," and everyone in the chat is also saying, "Hey Shakira." Ron says, "Yeah, Phoenix did a video why actors being harassed because it's the roles they play." Yeah, you know, Ron, the Days of Our Lives characters actually said that too. Darby says, "I think Brady is being a hypocrite, lying to Rachel about other people and not being honest about himself in front of John, expecting him to back his." Yeah, Darby, did you see that? Did you see the look on John's face when he was just like, "Yeah, Jonathan, I wasn't a fan of that either. I really wasn't. I really was not a fan of that." And I'm just like, bro, like you need to sit there and really kind of lay down a law. Like, I know a lot of this has to do with Kristen and the raises and the reason why the way that she raises Rachel. I'm like, bro, you are the father. You gotta start putting your foot down. Just says, what's the point of Molly and TJ today if she's not pregnant? Exactly. You know, Jessica, let me ask you a question. Even if she was pregnant, would it really matter? It's not like they showed him too often. I don't think anyone actually really cares about the storyline. All right, we got 34 people in the chat that said this. So I'm going to end that poll. Was cheese good today? Let's see what the results. Well, 55 actually said yes. Okay. Jessica says no, they're never on. Exactly. So it's not like we really. Well, that's another question we're going to sit there and ask in the chat. I'm going to ask a question in the chat. If I can get his name in there. Was I really don't want to ask that question. I had to really think about that. I want to sit there and see what people think. Do you care about Molly and TJ? That's the question. Do you care about Molly and TJ? G Love is in the chat. What's good, G Love? I know it's Opera Doc, but I'm gonna call you a new name now. Nikisha, when Sam and Molly both said they had stomach issues, I was hoping there was going to be a crazy infection and we were going to finally get a good hospital story. It's been so long. It actually has. It actually has. Now, Kyrie says, I voted yes. Okay. Um, yeah, I don't honestly. What did everyone think about the Hat Daddy scene or the Marshall scene with Portia? Like, did you like it? Did you not like it? I want to know what your thoughts are. CW says I would care if they gave them an interesting storyline. No, they don't. No, TD says I think they are so cute. I do care about my TJ. They just need to be. Yeah, Nathaniel says, "Yeah, I was thinking about that. It's General Hospital, but not a lot of doctor drama." Yeah. It's funny too because somebody else said that also. I think it was Dion's Corner that said that. Now Jessica said he was on today. I didn't even remember. It wasn't really memorable, to be honest. It really wasn't. Freddie said, "Yeah, be killing me with that hat, daddy name calling." Yeah, Jess, he has a point. Karen says, "I can't care enough because they're not. Yeah, they're not on enough." Oh, what's good, Grams TV? Thank you for joining. I'm sorry I missed you in the when you came in. Carrier says Hat Daddy equals fast forward rapidly. Rapidly. Huh. It's funny. I don't remember seeing Grams TV. Somebody said hi to him, but I remember seeing him though. And the thing says, well, we shoot Grey's Anatomy next door so they could get all the doctor drama. We get everything else. Simon says, who is Hat Daddy? Oh, Marshall Solomon on General Hospital. But he always wears a hat, so I call him Hat Daddy. Nikesh says, Nathan, they used to do big medical stories that would involve the whole cast. Yeah, they used to do a lot of stories that used to involve the whole cast, like the water pathogen story, the um the hotel fire, the Metro Hostage story. Now, Ariana says I got back from Australia last night in time for members live stream tonight. Is that already? Thank you, thank you, thank you, Ariana, Ariana, Ariana. Johnson says, but what if the actor who plays Marshall joins your stream next, Albert? Well, that would definitely be interesting. Honestly, tell you the truth, I'm still just taking this all in. I'm playing it cool, but I'm just like, honestly, tell you the truth, if it wasn't for the amount of wine that I had yesterday, I think I would be so wired. Now Nathaniel says, what is this Ice Princess storyline I keep hearing about? Valerie says he can join. Yeah, he can definitely join. You know what I say? The more the merrier. Didi says, "Oh, the Ice Princess storyline was when they froze the world in the '70s with Jeannie Francis character and Tony Gear. It was awesome." Yeah, then wasn't it like a guy that wants to sit there and like take over the world? Like, I mean, he literally wanted like world domination because for some odd reason they put that in a soap storyline. Ariana said you were funny as hell last night. The new wine must be great. Oh, I didn't even notice that. Man, I hope I didn't sit there and say anything out of line. And then said they froze the world. Yeah, there was on some real. I want to do. I don't know, world domination. But you know what? Honestly, tell you the truth, those stories were really great back in the day. Yeah, G Love, that's very true. CW says Albert, it was Helena husband. Oh, Mikos. Oh, okay. Then Nathaniel says, "Oh, sorry, please forgive me, but what does Luke and Laura stuff mean?" Like they had a lot of grand adventures back in the day. They used to actually even go on like different locations and stuff. And then the thing is, I just work here. I'm not all up into the stuff on the yeah. I mean, to be fair, I'm learning as I go because I only started watching the show in 2000. So, yep, Nathaniel, they had a bigger budget. Had a bigger budget. That was definitely true. Johnson says, I'm watching the Winchesters and Dean, Bobby, and Jack are on. Really? But I mean, Jonathan, it's not played by the same actors, though, right? I'm assuming it's not played by the same actors. Oh yeah, I heard about that, CW. Nathaniel says it better be no one else can play Dean. Nathaniel is a fan of Supernatural. That is awesome. I used to love that show. That is awesome. It's like Nathaniel just gets cooler by the minute. What's good, Gwen? Thank you for joining. AJ says, as for Molly and TJ, I don't really think I care for them. Yeah, I mean, they don't really show us enough of them to have anyone care. What's good, Jay Blue? Thank you for joining. Yes, Ariana. Ariana, yes, I used to love that show. It's true, AJ. They don't show them enough on there. Now Nathaniel says, fun fact, the sheriff on Supernatural why was my neighbor like lived across the street from me. Who is that sheriff's name? I know who you're talking about too. Who is that sheriff's name? And Johnson says, Dean and Bobby came from heaven with Jack. God. What? Texas Gal's in the chat. Texas Gal says they don't give Molly and TJ enough. Um yeah, they don't really show them enough. And the thing says Metatron used to be like what? Thank you, Jonathan. I was about to say this. I was like, what is her name? Wow, that's and Nathaniel says Metatron used to hike behind my house. Oh, that's crazy. That is crazy. Wow, small world. AJ says I think Molly's may have previous issues, and that's probably why her and TJ are having difficulty timing getting pregnant. Well, no, I mean they're not trying to get pregnant. I think it was an accident and it was late. Maybe she thought she was late or something. And the thing is that most of the cast from Supernatural live in Los Limza. Carries okay. Ron says, Albert, I know that I'm praying for him. You're right. I don't understand how you're praying for a baby storyline where Sheila's like what 60 or 70 years old. Texas Gal says they seem to make a good point to always refer to Molly and TJ as domestic partners. Just something I noticed. Yeah, that was their whole thing. I didn't really get it. Texas Gal. I know it's an actual real thing, but to be honest, all the stuff that they went through their wedding, and that's literally what it was just like a wedding. So I don't really get it. And to be honest, I don't really care. I don't really care, honestly. Nathaniel says, Cat Lady, that's amazing. Love that my cat's name is Kraut. Nice. Yeah, CW. The membership definitely looks good on her also. Curry says, I'll scream if Sheila baby was only born with six toes. Oh, Jesus. Yes, CW. It does look good on her. Like I said, when we get to 100 members, I'm going to be doing a giveaway because I want to do something as a thank you. Ryan says the reason for this, Albert, is the chaos it would cause, especially Fenn. I'm pretty sure it will be a lot more than just causing chaos, like a giant health issue, like a ginormous health issue if a woman like Sheila that's like close to her 70s probably would be, having a baby. That would be kind of weird. Didi says there's a storyline behind why our cat name is Crowley. I kind of want to know that answer too. Well, I mean, to be fair, I did love Crowley. I did love Crowley, and Crowley went out like a G. So I'm always gonna love Crowley. Someone says Sheila should be around 61 years old. That's yeah, but that's still too old to be having a child. Didi says I missed the part about Crowley. Me too. I want to know. Inquiring minds want to know. Inquiring minds want to know. Oh, Didi, who is Crowley? Crowley was a character on a show called Supernatural. Um, and apparently somebody named their cat Crowley, which is interesting. But yeah, Didi, he was a character on a show named Supernatural that lasted 15, was it 15 or 18 years? I forgot how long that show was on for. I think it was 15 years, but it could be longer. And then for some odd reason, instead of deciding to do all the spin-offs that was really cool, they decided to go with a prequel. They literally decided to go with an idea that no one wanted. And John says the trickster Gabriel was a fun cat. He was, Jonathan. He was. Jonathan, wasn't the actor named Matt Lesher? Like, isn't he on the Flash now? Oh, his name. Okay, the cat. Okay, thank you, cat lady. Some says now I think about it, Rainbow was kind of. Yeah, I can see that too, Solomon. Freddie says Michael and Dex planning is going to blow up in their face, and it's going to be so fun to watch. Nathaniel says I have 3 kittens, Sydney, so I named them after 3 of my favorite villains: Crowley, Morley, and Fangin. Fangin? I don't know what that is. Ron says another reason too, being Sheila getting pregnant with a child what would the other people say, especially her son Finn? Um, he was to then say this very unhealthy, and he's a doctor, and a woman that's like 60 something years old, close to 70, shouldn't be having a child. That's why. Justice says no, it was Richard Spring Jr. Jr. who played him. Oh, okay. I don't know. Jonathan, I don't know why, but he looked like Matt Lesher for a hot minute though. Oh, okay. Okay, Nathaniel. I know where I was. Thank you. Nathaniel says, sorry, hard to text one hand. Getting a manicure. Okay. My guy drinks whiskey and does manicures. See? Can't stereotype guys. You know? We are not all the same. Didi says don't have pets anymore. Didi said I named my cat Trasher and Shredder from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Of course, this was when I was 12. I did have a turtle when I was a kid. And let's just sit there and say it did not turn out well at all. I don't know where they got this turtle from, but it didn't end well. Freddie says I'm looking forward to when Sonny and Michael find out Dex. And oh yes, Freddie, but it's going to be exactly popcorn, the good kind of messy. Oh, thank you, Jonathan. I was wondering when that was going to come on. I'm pretty sure my DVR is actually going to record it, but I need to make sure. So thank you, Jonathan. Ron says Albert are usually bold writers using Thomas again to make Hope look good. I was hoping that would be sus. Yeah, Ron, I'm so over her complaining. I really am. Diddy says Michael going to punk out at the end and not follow through. Maybe if it does get too dangerous, and if these people do seem like they're going to kill him, because I don't, Didi, I don't understand putting him in prison, thinking that that's going to work out for Sonny. Like the dude's not going to get shanked or something like that. You know, he's so hell bent on doing that. I don't get that. Shauna says why Rachel don't like Chloe because of Kristen. I mean, because of Kristen. Kristen made it look like, oh well, I can't spend any time with Daddy because of Chloe. Because Rachel's a kid, this is exactly why. Rachel is blaming Chloe for their parents not being together. Johnson said it will be interesting to see how RJ acting around Thomas will be. Jonathan, let me ask you a question. This is about Superman and Lois. You know that there's a different actor playing one of them, right? Jonathan. Yeah, actually his name is Jonathan. So are you looking forward to the recast? Are you kind of worried about that? Because I didn't think about that until you said something. So I'm very curious. I'm very curious on your take so far. I mean, I know the show didn't happen yet, but still. And Darby says, I don't think she would do that to Rachel. Are you talking to somebody else? What happened, Shakira? Okay, yeah. No, Jonathan, I was worried about it, but at the same time, you know what? I understand why the actor had to do what he had to do, and so I'm not. I mean, obviously, I'm not going to be mad at him, but you know, hopefully, the other guy steps up and it works out. I'm hurt. What happened, Shakira? If you don't mind me asking, if you want to talk about it now, and if you want to sit there and DM about it, then we could do that too, Shakira. Condolences. And Johnson says, "I'm willing to give a new actor chances in popular roles." Yeah, yeah. No, I mean that's a good way to look at it. I don't know what happened. I just see it says condolences, um, but Shakira, I'm always here to sit there. I'm always here for you to talk to. I want you to know that I'm always here for you to sit there and talk to. Anytime you want to DM, we can sit there and talk. Um, I'm here for you. Oh wow. I'm really sorry to hear that, Shakira. I am. I'm really sorry to hear that. Thank you, Didi, for telling me. Well, Shakira, we're all here for you. Everyone in this chat is here for you. So yeah, Shakira. Anytime you want to sit there and talk, you know me. You can just sit there and DM me. Um, I was asking, what was even the question that I asked? Wow. Okay. That's actually pretty high. Well, only 29 people voted. That's still pretty high, though. Wow, 59, 59. Um, yeah, no, yeah, we're all here for you. Didi says, "Isn't it amazing that sometimes, even when we are struggling, things like shows can make us smile?" Yeah, that's very true, Didi. Oh, what's good, Grams TV? Yeah, no, Ron, I totally get that. That makes sense. Didi says, I remember when my mom passed away, I didn't think I would be able to laugh again, and I busted up at Napoleon Dynamite. Yeah, no, honestly, tell you the truth, sometimes, like, laughter is, I don't want to, it's weird because it sounds cheesy to sit there and say laughter is the best medicine, but more something just finding stuff that you like. You find stuff that you like, you find your hobbies and stuff like that, you know. And it's not a cure all, but it's um it's something. Now Shauna says, I know I see you, Mal. Okay. Well, Shakira, I'm honestly tell you the truth, I know that you're going through a lot. I'm glad you're here and you're here with people that actually care about you. And again, we're all here for you. Because I always like to sit there and think that we're all friends here. And Shakira, you are definitely the heart of this group chat. Shauna says, why Bell left Brady in jail? Shauna says, why Bell left Brady in jail? Well, he didn't leave him in jail. He left Eric in jail. She left Eric in jail because Eric was, well, being a dick. Salma says, you've been married to them for 40 years and killed them for their insurance money. They actually happened around where I live. Wow. Jesus Christ. People are just, ugh. Ariana says, the meat act of laughter release endorphins, a pledge to both the brain and body, and also relaxes the body and mood. Yeah, it does. Seriously, I couldn't be with my mom when she passed away because it was during the beginning of the pandemic. Wow, that, that's a lot. Oof. I don't even actually have an answer. I don't even actually have an answer for that. Like, I don't even have anything to say. That's just heartbreaking. I think that's the only thing I can say. Kyrie's the rock star, just gifted another membership. So join. We're at 26. We have a lot of fun. And like I said, when we get to 100, I'm going to be doing a giveaway. So thank you, Kyrie's. Thank you, Kyrie's. My rock star. Kylie says, who can we hook Mason up with? Sasha. Seriously. Hook Mason up with Sasha. And Rihanna said, my mom passed when I was very young and my father raised me. Mm, that's a lot. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Shonda. Yeah, because Eric was acting like a dick. Eric was acting like a dick. Oh, Krista says Mason and Nina. Yeah. So Kyrie's just gifted a membership, and there's something in the pin comment. So hit the pin comment and join. I think if you hit the pin, maybe it well, I think it will go to you. Now Nathaniel says, I don't think Sasha is a good fit. Hmm. Well, I can't sit there and say Ava because you're already sitting there blackmailing her. Cat Lady said Mason and Christina. Wow, okay. Nathaniel said Nina is too old for me. I want to read that again. Nathaniel said Nina is too old for me. Ava is too old for me as well. That's exactly what I said, Dee Dee. Krista says Mason and Miss Wu, Mason and Gladys. Nah, come on. Come on, Krista. You don't come on now, let's be nice. You don't want to sit there and hook anyone up with Gladys. Okay, that's just no. I mean, I know Mason's a kind of a bad guy, but come on. I'm just saying. Uh Curry says my opinion on the screen should pop up and saying gifted. Uh, Now Curry says an option on the screen should pop up saying allow gift. Then YouTube automatically assigns it to the most active user that accepts it. That's very true. We do actually have some people in the chat. So if you're not a member, you get to try it for a month and see if you like it or not. Big Nate is in the chat. What's good, Nate? We got the one and only Nathaniel Gray, aka Mason, in the chat. Hmm. You're right about that, Kyrie. Yeah, it should pop up to somebody. And then Nathaniel said again, Gladys is too old. Nathaniel, trust me, her being too old is the least of why she should be hooking up with you. Um, like the absolute least. CW says, Didi says, thank you for joining the chat. It was really cool. Now, Didi said, Nathaniel, thanks for joining the chat. It's really cool of you. Nathaniel is very down to earth, and I'm just grateful that he's in the chat. So thank you. I have not said that enough. Cat Lady says Mason in Brooklyn. Mason in Brooklyn. Wow, who could they actually who could Mason actually be with? Shakira's back, everyone. Harry says, first off, my Ava ain't. Oh, my Ava is experienced. Just realized I let that go unchecked. You did let that go unchecked, Iris. But you did clarify it though. Thank you, Nathaniel. Thank you. She's Maxie to piss Ava off. Ooh. That worked though. Nathaniel says Kyrie's Ava looks good with my cousin. That's very true. A lot of people do like them together. Exactly, CW. And Rihanna says Gladys, maybe if she did get with someone like Mason, she wouldn't be gambling Sasha's money away. No, but I don't think that Mason would actually have patience for her. No, correction. Mason would not actually have patience for her. Eagle Fangs in the chat was good out when we're going to see this boss of Austin's yet. Tamara's in the chat was good, Tamara. Didi said maybe Mason and Jordan. You know what they say, opposite attracts. Mel says, I love it when Liam came up with the idea for Hope to have a mother. Yeah. Also, Mel, Hope is acting like she doesn't have another child. Nathaniel says, I would gladly replace Link and save Brooklyn from that and work on that Q money. Yes. CW says Ava could be Mason's version of Mrs. Robinson. Kyrie says, I know that, but she ain't old. Mason would be lucky to, yeah. Kyrie, so you said it right there. Nathaniel said, I'm dead. China says, I bet Alexis will keep digging. Gwen says, I believe Brooklyn and Mason could be a good couple. I can see him with Brooklyn. All right, so let's ask the question. And yeah, if we did get a gifted membership, um, join. We have a lot of fun. We have a lot of fun. I always spill this tea. Well, I've been spilling the tea lately. Um, and my members only, member only live stream. So definitely hit it up. Definitely join. It was really cool of Kyrie to sit there and give somebody one membership. So if you're thinking about trying it, try it. It's worth it. Um, if somebody actually said yes to that. So I'm gonna ask people. I'm gonna ask people in the chat. Ariana, okay, can't see yet. Ariana says I have a younger boyfriend, some for a long time. Nice. Nathaniel says me and Austin used to be bad together. Now he is a good guy, and I want him to roll around in the dirt with me. I miss my cousin being like me. Cameron says I made it. What are we discussing? The soaps. Right now, if you watch General Hospital, the question is, would you want to see Brooklyn, or do you think Brooklyn and Mason would work out? I said no, but I want to see what everyone else thinks. Now, Kyrie says, I wish YouTube would just allow to automatically choose who give the memberships to. I was hoping it would get assigned to Shakira. Yeah, me too. That kind of sucks that it doesn't work that way, though. And Nathaniel said, hence, I have been trying to relax the character more now, and they have been letting the character be less aggressive like he used to. That's very true. If you notice that Austin's character isn't so over the top like he was, Tamara says, I don't see it. You don't see what the or you don't see them being together? Eagle fan says I'm over Mason Austin, show the boys in 2 weeks ABC. Krista says Mason and Sam both grifters. Nathaniel says, okay, you will all vote away who my love interest should be. And if Mason was into Brooklyn, I will be after the money. Okay, well I got a question now. Nathan, who would you see yourself with on the show? Like if you had to pick one woman on the show that you can see your character being with, who would it be? Oh, Tamara says I don't see them right now. Yeah, so that's the question. Who would you see yourself with? I'm very curious about that, Nathaniel. I'm not gonna lie, I don't see them either, but I want to sit there and pose the question now. Question says yes, I want Mason and Brooklyn together. I think the actor can pull it off. I believe actors can pull it off. Okay. And then it says, well, try it when. Oh, we'll try it. Now, of course, Nathaniel, you don't have to answer that if you don't want to, but I'm just very curious though. And since the wine hasn't fully kicked in, I still do have a bit of a filter. Now, Catley says, geez, don't have enough single women for Mason. Yeah, but things can change. Gwen says, you would start out being for the money, but you'll fall hard for her. Ariana says, and not Mason and Sam. And Nathaniel says, I don't know enough about the characters to say honestly. I would only have to go off looks, and that is not a good way to judge it. It's not me personally, it's Mason. Fair answer, Nathaniel, fair answer. Okay. Nathaniel says, I just know no one 20 years my senior. Okay. CW says, well, if she was still on the show, I could have seen Mason with Brett. She does, yeah, she does like Bad Boys. Cat Lady says, Esme. I couldn't even imagine that. I can even imagine that now. Darby says Anna's out, then Mason. Didi says, Didi says, how old is Mason? Maybe Christina because she likes Bad Boys too. That's true. Nathaniel says they did have me flirt with Britt, but she left the show, so that direction ended. Of course, Shakira. Of course, we're always here for you. We are always here for you. We're all friends, so we all got your back. Me and Esme, that would be an epic death, Mason. Yeah, I can. Really? What is Esme like? 19? Nah. I think you're underestimating Mason's character too much to be taken out by a 19-year-old chick, by a 19-year-old girl. Mel says it was funny when Adam said what he said. What did my father give you? Oh, was it? Yes. That actually was pretty funny. Cat Lady says Esme is 20. AG says Yoku works my nerves on Mason. Would work a nerve on Mason. Yeah, I can see that. But you know what, Kelly? I feel like Esme would just be a little too young now. Because just in the face, like, yeah, okay, she's 20, but she looks like she's. Then the thing says she is devious. Yeah, that's true. I would be killed in my sleep. Well, yeah, that's true. Still, a 19, 20-year-old chick, 19, 20-year-old woman. Johnson says if Faith Roscoe is the mystery boss, she might have Nina and Carly kidnapped to get the son. Carrie says Esme sleeps with Nicholas. She dropped her Mason too if it makes it work for a while. Love it, Kyrie's. Gwen says, I think Brooklyn needs a strong man in her life, and I think Mason could be that person. Brooklyn and Mason? I mean, Brooklyn and Mason? Then Nathaniel says, plus they are making her good now. Yeah, that's true. That's true, Glenn. I don't feel like they're actually, no, I take that, I don't know how they're actually making her good. Um, I mean, she signed a contract with Link and pretty much screwed over every other woman that Link is going to be working with. I wouldn't sit there and say it's exactly good. Wow, so far 68% people say no. So Darby said you would be killed by Sonny if he dared touch Christina. Now Nathaniel said the issue for me is who would look right. Basically, I was hired with a shaved head. It's now look mean 24/7. I'm waiting for them to let me grow my hair back. Hmm. You know, I don't know. Now Johnson says it looks like everyone from Beyond Sandless. Yeah, it's gonna be good. Shauna says, why haven't they did a DNA test? Because Trina wants to drag out the story longer. But here's my whole thing about the whole shaved head thing though. I don't know if it's so much a shaved head as much it is the eyebrows and the expression. Because let's be honest, I feel like I feel like to some extent, even if they let Nathaniel grow his hair out and stuff like that, it's more the expression and the eyebrows that is coming and the voice too. Yeah. Well, to be, I guess, but I feel like it's more the eyebrows and the facial expression than anything else. Yeah, they definitely are, Karen. We've been waiting for a hot minute. Yeah, I mean Jessica, the voice too, but I feel like it's the other things though. Now Dee says, "I just saw you're acting real and you're creepy either way." I should say you're acting creepy. Now Cat Lady says his grin. Shauna says DNA test for Esme's baby. Oh, okay. That's right. Kyrie's is going to be 23 on Sunday. That is the 12th. So I would say wish him a happy birthday now or early happy birthday now. But I'm also going to sit there and make a post about it anyway. So Shakira says, lost my birth mom in 2012. Wow. I'm sorry to hear that. Then say, hey, now maybe I was creepy, but I always play a bad guy, but I'm pretty with my hair. DC did sit there and say you're a good looking man. So, Jessica is funny too because I actually have my phone in the ear and I'm kind of going to Google him as well. Hunt of the Night. Now you haven't seen me with hair. It definitely is a different. I will say this much: it definitely is a different look because I'm actually looking at pictures with his hair. So, and Johnson says they used to air a lot of good sci-fi shows back in the day on UP. Yes, they did. They definitely did, Jonathan. But here's the thing, Jonathan. Here's what I will say. I felt like back in the day, they had more imagination. They had more imagination back in the day. They weren't afraid to sit there and go out there. And Jessica says pretty good looking with hair. Almost looks like an entirely different person with hair done. Yes, no, I'm looking at it now. I'm looking at the exact same picture too. Very interesting. Here's the thing. I feel like it's the eyebrows for me, though. That's the thing. I feel like it's the eyebrows. Like, I still feel like you could be very intimidating just with like the smile and everything like that. But yeah, but that's just me, though. Gwen says, "Where's the picture?" If you Google Nathaniel Gray and you go to image, it will show different pictures, and there's a picture where he actually does have hair. Just show at the screen. Just show. Oh, okay. Let's see if everyone can see. Yeah, that's actually kind of the only way I'm able to actually show it. So yeah, I mean this picture. I'm not gonna lie. It definitely looks like he will definitely steal your girl. It definitely looks like he will definitely steal your girl. He looks like he would rob you blind and steal your girl. And it seems like it's not much you can really do about that. So that's cool. Yes, Denise, that's even what DC Soap Sanctuary said. He said, and I quote, "He's a very good-looking man." End quote. I'm being dead serious, Didi. You look like somebody that you will rob you blind and steal your girl. Oh, Solomon, DC Soap Sanctuary. When he was in the chat a couple of days ago, he said that. When it says, "Oh yes, he can be for Brooklyn." No, Johnson. I think I want to watch them when they actually show both seasons. Did they actually show? Did they actually show the second half yet? What am I still? I'm also still watching. Well, the Gray Man. I want to sit there and watch. So I started watching that as well. So I think yeah. Nathaniel said, "Yeah, I need glasses." I'm like, nope, not according to something. That is definitely not true, Nathaniel. Not according to a lot of the women in the chat and men. Um, but I also want to watch Invincible though. Oh, okay, Jonathan's coming on this week. I also want to watch Invincible though too though. Jessica says, "I hope it's better than the first one." See, like I said, Nathaniel, the women in the chat have spoken, and some of the men, equal opportunists, have spoken. So it's an argument you're not going to win, Nathaniel. So that's Nathaniel. That's exactly what I was going to say. Like Nathaniel is your, well, it's an argument you're not going to win. So just don't try. Simon says, "I'm confused. Did he just say as just a compliment, or was he checking him out?" No, Simon, he looked at his pictures, so he said he was a good looking man. Did he say that as just a compliment, or was he checking him out? What was the context? I don't get it. I mean, the context was DC felt like he was a good looking man. Have a good night, Denise. Thank you for joining. It's always a pleasure to see you in the chat, and thank you for being a member. I know there's another gifted membership going around, and for some odd reason, it didn't hit anyone yet, so that sucks. Exactly. Exactly. Johnson says, "Don't sell yourself short, Nathaniel. Remember, you're Batman." Damn right. Have a good night, Denise. Thank you for joining. Have a good night, Nathaniel. Thank you for joining. Thank you for chilling with us tonight. It was great to see you. It was great to talk to you, as always. Thank you, Denise. Thank you for being here. Yeah, so let's everyone say goodbye. Let's everyone say have a good night to Nathaniel. Um, really appreciate you coming through tonight. So thank you. Wow, that's awesome. Well, be sick night and thanks for being here. Thank you. Whoever says Freddie, this is this is make believe. You can ship anybody. That is true. That is true. Darby. That is 100% true. Have a good night, Krista. Thank you for joining. Wow. Like I said, you never know. You never know who's going to stop by. Never know who's going to stop by. And you never know who's watching. So, like my friend James always says, they're watching. And Johnson says, who do you think they're pair RJ with on B&B? Maybe Paris. I was going to say maybe Paris. It's not like they're really doing much with her anyway. Johnson, okay. Mel says it's time for Adam to shine away from Victor and Ice Princess. Yes. I'm so glad I'm not the only person that calls Victoria Ice Princess. But I think Kyrie's calls her Witchtoria or Witchatoria. I think it's Witchtoria. Lately, these live streams have had me so wired lately. Carrie says, Witchatoria. Okay, yep. Okay, it was you. That's what I was going to sit there and say because I'm like, I didn't want to sit there and claim that nickname if it was somebody else used it first. And I was like, I think it's Kyrie's. I think Kyrie's actually said it. Um, have a good night, Dee Dee. Thank you for joining. It was a pleasure to sit there and see you in the chat. These live streams are always so fun. Like they really are. It's literally, and I say this all the time, but it's true. They're literally the highlight of my day. Awesome. I'm gonna try to go on vacation in the next couple of weeks for my job, and then I could just sit there and just do this all week, and that's gonna be that's gonna be a lot of fun. Yeah, I do. Yeah, John, I would say the same thing. Um, that's why I called it the Ice Princess. Exactly why I called it the Ice Princess. Now she has this whole thing with Devon. I mean, with Nate. CW, but I think it's a lot more appropriate. CW says I like Victoria more when Heather played her. No offense to Amelia, who is also a great actress. No, I get it. Have a good night, Krista. Thank you for joining. It was great to see you in the chat tonight. So thank you for coming through. Solomon says maybe it's just me, but Amelia has been giving Silent Heather vibes to me lately with the storyline with her and Nate. She's not scared of nothing. Well, I mean, we had 23 people that voted, but yeah, there was an overwhelming majority of no on that. It was a lot of fun. Also, I was going to sit there and put this in the chat. And I was going to put this in a poll question, but there's really no point. I mean, I could, but also, if you're a horror fan, and I missed this movie when it came out in theaters, but Megan, I saw Megan this last past weekend, and I was like, yo, that movie's crazy. Mel says Victoria's Ice Princess greedy, selfish when she is already as a CEO of Newman, and now she wants McCall Unlimited too and leave Adam with nothing. I can see her doing that. Well, hmm, maybe if she does take McCall, that's a really good question. Reddy says I miss Ryan Chamberlain now. Even evil has to end at some point. Cat Lady says I didn't watch it. It was good, Cat Lady. It was. And, here's the thing, Cat Lady. It's not even one of those things where it's like you can compare it to Chucky. Like Megan is its own thing with its own personality. I really feel like you would like it. I really do. If you are a horror fan, I would recommend it because it's not just horror. It's more than that. It's hard to put into words, but watching you'll find out. Now, Johnson said Victoria had it in for Adam since he first arrived in town. Mel says I love talking to Ashley together, and she is falling for him. Yeah, she is, which I don't understand why, Mel. I know that's here's the thing. I know the fans want it, but if this man has disappointed you like no tomorrow, um, yeah, cat lady. When I saw that, I was like, wait, what? I had to rewind it like 3 times. And I was like, oh, okay. But yeah, no, Matt, I don't understand that. Like Tucker, her history of Tucker is bad, and when he came back recently, he still lied to her. And of course, she doesn't know about the fact that Tucker was knocking boots with Audra. And I'm like, why are you putting these two together? Like Ashley's supposed to be this very smart, tough, um, intelligent woman, and yet you are dumbing her down just for I don't know some sort of weird fan service or whatever. Doesn't work for me now. Darby says Adam should smash Victoria and business just to see the looks on Victoria, Nikki, and Nick's face. I'll be a sight. Freddie says I think Heather Weber is going to pop up again, especially when Esme regaining her memory. It's possible, but I don't know, Freddie. I feel like here's the thing. When I read what I read, I felt like it was her time was done. Um, Johnson says Trevor Steve Treasure S. John recently praised Maurice Bernard for his State of Mind podcast. Yeah, no, I can see that. I can see that. I mean, he does do a really good podcast, and He did one with the actress that plays Paris, and he erased it. He erased it. He straight up erased it because he saw that she was not good mentally, and so he took down the podcast, and that was really big of him. So I can see that. Kyrie says, but yeah, Adam is a Harvard graduate. He can crush Victoria in business. Hmm. I guess time will tell. I don't want to sit there and say he can, and I'm not too sure, but um, BGG said goodnight. I can't stand Robert Scott Wilson new character as Alex. He's always bragging about his new character and his ugly girlfriend. Okay, BGG. Have a good night, Gwen. Thank you for joining. Hmm, I don't know. But to be fair, Gigi, it's hard for me to judge Alex. Well, I guess I can kind of judge Alex compared to Ben. But you know what? To each his own. I don't know. I like him, but I like Alex. I think he definitely brings in some fresh perspective. Darby says, "Do you have a family who don't trust you like family? If so, you would know what I mean." Kerry says, "I thought you meant literally smashing her in the office to see the look on all of their faces. I'm like, they can't do their related." Oh, okay. China says, "Believe me, he can." Darby says, "What? That's nasty." I don't know why that cracks me up, but just the way Darby said, "What? That's nasty." I don't know. Just something about the fact that Darby said nasty is funny to me. Now Mel says Victor told Victoria Ice Princess that Adam will be CEO of McCall as a separate entity. Yeah, I mean, but you know how Victoria is, though. You know how Victoria is. Yeah, I feel like she wouldn't just let it go. Like she wouldn't just be like, okay, Adam can have his own thing. Or at the very least, even if Adam did take over McCall, Victoria will still want it under the umbrella of Newman Media, Newman Enterprises. So in a lot of ways, Victoria will still be sitting there bossing around Adam. That's just my guess. That's just my guess. Um, yeah, I think that's actually going to do it for tonight. Um, I'm really tired from today, and yeah, really tired from today. I want to wake up somewhat early to not sleep till like 11 or 12. Thank you, Gwen. Thank you so much. So yeah, I think I'm gonna sit down and stream here. But I do want to thank everyone for joining. Again, I want to thank Nathaniel Gray for being in the chat. I want to thank my members. I want to thank my subscribers for just chilling, for having a great time, um, for making these streams really fun. Because in all reality, I feel like in a lot of ways it is a team effort. You know, I may just and thank you, Gwen. Yes, hit the like button. It really does help out. Um, at the end of the day, I'm just a host. It's everyone here that makes these streams so fun. So, yes, thank you. Have a good night, AJ. Thank you for joining. It's always a pleasure to see you. Have a good night, CW. Have a good night, Solomon. Have a good night, Cat Lady. Have a good night, Shauna. Have a good night, Kyrie. Thank you. Have a good night, Valerie. There is a membership going on right now that Kyrie's gifted. So if you see it, click on it. We have a lot of fun. I want to get up to 100 and I want to do a giveaway. Just my expression, just my way of thanking everyone. Have a good night, Valerie. Have a good night, Jessica. Have a good night, Darby. Have a good night, the amazing Janet. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for being in the chat. Yeah, well, Janet, these streams are as amazing as they are because of people like you. And I sincerely mean that. And that goes for everyone. These streams are only really as good as the people that are in them. So, have a good night, CW. Have a good night, Janet. No, Kyrie's. Yeah, actually, CJ, I think Kyrie's did actually want to do a review on YNR. Have a good night, Freddie. Thank you for joining. Have a good night, Mel. You take care. It's always a pleasure and a blessing to see you in the chat. Yeah, Kyrie's. I was gonna sit there. I was gonna sit there and say he did. You did do one because I do remember watching it. So, but have a good night, everyone. Um, yes, let's try to get those memberships to 100. We have a lot of fun during the membership live streams. Ask anyone that's in the chat. And yeah. Have a good night, everyone. And again, a special thank you to Nathaniel Gray for joining us, answering questions, and just chopping it up with everyone. He is a very down to earth guy. If you haven't noticed, very chill. So he's awesome. Yes, Mel, I can't wait to see Megan too. And Hulk Chucky versus Megan. Maybe they'll team up. Maybe they'll team up. I'm more up for a team up. BGG says I don't like Alex and Stephanie together. Well, I don't like Stephanie at all. So have a good night, Shakira. Thank you for joining. And like I said, Shakira, I'm always here for you. Have a good night, CW. Yeah, Shakira, I'm always here for you. So that goes without saying. Yes. Have a good night, everyone. Stay safe and thank you. Thank you again. And remember, just look out for that membership that's floating around that Kyrie's sent out. I'll also make a separate post about that too. So have a good night, everyone. Stay safe, and I look forward to seeing everyone in tomorrow's live stream. And have a good night, Jonathan. And I'll be here saying it forever as far as saying good night to everyone. So you know who you are. Have a good night, and thank you for being here.